7 o'clock. We'll call the meeting. I got your attention. How are we doing there?
That's the new gavel.
Call the meeting back to order, and we're at 4.1 on the agenda. There's consent agenda. There's 2 items there from the Blue Water Recycling Association and the Committee of Adjustment. Moved by Councilor McGuire, Deputy Mayor Day. Any questions on those? All in favor? Carried. Minutes. Regular meeting March the 12th. And the regular council meeting March the 18th. Councilor Russell, you moved those 2 sets of minutes. Councilor Scott seconded. If you may.
The one correction on the 18th minutes on 12.2 and resolution 03/18/21, the reference to the mayor should be removed, and we've done that in our minutes. So.
Okay, I had left that. Okay. Any other questions on those minutes? All in favor of that? Carried. Thank you. A couple minutes ahead of for the delegation. So we'll go to the correspondence. 2 items of correspondence to receive and file, 7.1, 7.2. Councilor Underwood, receive and file. Councilor Cook, seconded that. Any questions on that? Deputy Mayor Day.
Yes, I just want to be cautious with us actually including newspaper articles in our agenda. I think that could get out of control, perhaps. So I'm just wondering, in the future, perhaps. I think it's coming up for discussion at a future council meeting on the 16th, so we can discuss the particulars of that, but I'm cautious about that.
I have questions regarding that as well, and I think it will be dealt with. We'll look at correspondence to our Tuesday meeting.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. All in favor of that? That's carried. Thank you. Got 3 more minutes. 7.3. There's a junior national drag boat team. There's a request for a donation to attend this. How would council like to deal with that? The staff is authorized up to 500. Deputy Mayor Day.
Well, I think that this regular boat team has just been a major boost to the high school. It's brought fresh energy to the school, and I was able to attend the spaghetti fundraiser on Friday night, and there were hundreds of people there supporting it. So I think it's beneficial to the entire community. So I think it'd be great if the municipality actually supports it in the form of some money too. So I'm prepared to make a motion that we just authorize staff to give them the $500 out of general funds for supporting this initiative.
Second by Councilor Scott. Question? Comment?
I know from the fact that they have 2 boats down at our Port Franks Marina, and I've had the opportunity to be down there with them and watch them practice, and I've gone and watched them there. They're an amazing bunch. They've got 2 solid teams plus spares. I mean, these kids they're competing against adults and beating them. They're just amazing. That's really good.
I'm just wondering from a procedural standpoint, if we
don't have to have a motion if we're going below the $500.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that rather than general funds, if we take it somehow out of the grant as an emergent issue, because it is emergent. These kids did not expect to be on this team. I just think they're on a slippery.
There is a section, Janet, in the budget for these grants. There's
Is there some way we can do it as an emergent thing? You're on a bit of a slope here that you set a precedent. I think the emergent part of this is they did not expect to make this team. Yeah. So as long as we don't set a precedent here, I think it's a wonderful venture, absolutely.
Okay, so that we authorize staff to go within the policy.
Yeah, that's fine.
But this, I do want to reflect that this is an emergent issue. Because that's what this is. They did not expect to come this.
Did someone second? Staff knows what direction. Okay, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. 7.4, this is for the request for the use of the Rotary Park for a fundraising event. We had this in the past. Councillor Cook, they allowed to use that?
Yes.
Councillor Underwood?
Second, I'd like to speak to it.
Okay.
Yeah, Ms. Thomas did this a couple of years ago for Make-A-Wish Foundation, and you know what, she's a darn good organizer, and she's putting everything out there to do it. And Dave got his hair cut off for it. It grew back, so we're very happy about that. So, yeah, I say I feel wholeheartedly support this.
Okay. Councillor Scott?
I'm in favor of it, but I'm just wondering if at that point we'll be doing anything with the splash, or the spray park? And will there be any preparatory work being done in that particular location? It's in May. I know that we're not, will be okay?
No chance.
Okay.
Just making sure. I don't want to disappoint her and not have a location for her, that's all.
Okay.
There's always a library gardens.
Okay. Motion is that we support this event. All in favor of that? Carried. Thank you. One more correspondence, then we're going on to our delegations. Blue Water Recycling, real legal matter. This needs majority support of the membership, I understand. Councillor Russell, speak to this.
I'll make a motion that we accept the resolution that I made at Blue Water Recycling.
Okay. Councillor Bonsteele, second that. Deputy Mayor Day.
I spoke with Mayor Case about his reservation and George Irwin's, and I think their concern was that they just wanted to take it back to their councils first. There was no real problem. Apparently Warwick has gone ahead and approved the motion itself subsequently to that, so it appears there isn't a problem in any of the jurisdiction.
Just for everybody's information, because it doesn't really say what the real problem is. There is no problem, but when we incorporate it, if it was dissolved as a corporation, the members would go to charitable organizations, which we are. But now that technically what's happening, the Corporate Act is changing, and that will be taken away from us, so in fact we're not. So we're the biggest shareholders, so you should all know we have a pretty good chunk of cash in there, which was reported to us just a little while ago. And we thought it would be better to change the letters patent to make sure that everything's in order, so if that did come, that it did, that it would be done and money would go back to the municipal ownership.
Okay.
It's a good.
Second question.
Yeah, through you to John. John, is all of this potentially divided up? Is it all worked out? Who would get what percentage of these funds? It's very clear.
It's very clear. It was letters patent when we do the changing that he's mentioning here, that's going to be further to this. They'll describe how that happens, but generally speaking, the original owners were share capital owners of it, and needless to say, Land and Shores with the 5 members, we're the largest shareholder, and so the percentage that we put in at the start in the first 2 years, and other members that they put in the first 2 years, that's the basis for the ownership, and the division of the assets that exist today would be so done by that division. So I think our percentage is 18% of the whole. That's the 5 million municipalities of Land and Shores.
Motion is that we support the recommendation of the board. All in favor of that? Carried. Thank you. And we'll go back to 7:05 and our first delegation. We have Matt Malou. 6.1 on page 37 of our agenda. Matt, up to the table. Welcome, and 10 minutes. And if you allow some time for questions.
Sure. I'm assuming that everybody read my letter or few letters that were sent in. I guess it's my duty to try and convince you of the fact that I think this law is outdated, or this bylaw is outdated, and that it's not promoting growth in Grand Bend by penalizing somebody who wants to open a business in Grand Bend and pay taxes like we all do if we should. But that's kind of my point of view on that. Like I stated in the letter, I'm not some run-of-the-mill guy that's just coming to town, looking to make a quick buck, and here to stay.